Hello and welcome to Stanford University. In this video, we will be taking a comprehensive look at a typical Stanford Financial Aid award letter. Before reviewing your award letter, it is important to know that this is not a bill. You should think of the award letter as a budgeting tool to help you plan for costs for the academic year. It is also your official record of the aid that you've been awarded. Your actual bill with charges can be viewed on your student access account. Here you see a sample award letter for a Stanford undergraduate student with demonstrated need. It is divided into 6 sections along with a special notes area at the bottom of the letter. In order to better understand the amounts listed on the award letter, it is best to take note of a couple basic formulas. We determine your eligibility for scholarship funds using this formula. Cost of attendance minus parent contribution minus student responsibility equals total scholarship and grants. What's important to you when considering Stanford's affordability is this formula. Cost of attendance minus scholarship and grants equals net cost. We suggest that you use the resources in the bottom half of your award letter to meet that net cost. The decisions on how to do that are up to you. That's why it's important to have a conversation with your family before the start of the year to discuss how all of your resources will be used and who will be taking responsibility for each part of the cost of attendance. The first section of the award letter contains the cost of attendance that we've used to determine your eligibility for need-based funds from Stanford. The cost of attendance is meant to be an estimate of all necessary expenses you'll have for the academic year related to your enrollment at Stanford. It includes the costs that we'll bill you for, such as tuition and fees, as well as expenses we know you'll have that are outside of the bill, like books and transportation costs from home to school. The directly billed costs include tuition, the campus health service fee, and an orientation fee and document fee for all new freshmen and transfer students. These costs are generally fixed and will appear on your quarterly bill. Most students live on campus and will also be billed for room and board. The amount used in the cost of attendance is the standard room and board charge that most students pay. The books and supplies amount is an estimate of the expense you will have for books, course material fees, and other expenses related to your coursework. You will have to pay most of those expenses out of pocket at the time of purchase, but there are some course-related fees that may be billed on your student account, for example, lab fees. The personal expense allowance reflects typical costs for most students for things like clothing, toiletries, phone bills, and dorm activities. Most of the costs you'll be paying out of pocket, however, there are some personal expenses like house dues, student activity fees, technology fees, and post office box fees that will appear on your quarterly bill. Travel is a standard allowance based on the estimated cost of round-trip travel between your home state and the Stanford campus twice per academic year for U.S. residents. If your aid covers all of the expenses on your bill, a refund will be issued to you and those funds may be used to pay for your other expenses such as books, supplies, personal expenses, and/or transportation costs. Now let's move on to the scholarships and grants portion of the award letter. Everything that appears in this section is gift aid that does not have to be paid back. All scholarships, federal and state grants, and outside scholarships are applied to the bill evenly across all 3 quarters. The award letter shows the amount for the full year. You can see the quarterly breakdown in Access. Moving on, we will find the net cost section. The net cost is what will need to be paid toward the cost of attendance over the academic year and is determined after scholarships and grants are applied. Note that this is the net cost for the full cost of attendance, not just the items that appear on the bill. Financial aid will be applied to the bill first. Any remaining balance on the bill is your responsibility, and we suggest you use your parent and/or student contribution to cover those amounts. If scholarship and grants for the quarter exceed total charges on the bill, students will receive a refund. This money could be used for other educational costs such as books and supplies. We suggest all students set up direct deposit on Access in order to receive their refunds the fastest way possible. Again, the net cost is determined by cost of attendance minus scholarship and grants equals net cost. The next 2 portions of the award letter show the parent contribution and the student responsibility. The parent contribution is the estimated amount parents can expect to contribute for the year. It is a calculated amount based on information provided on your financial aid application and a standard formula. Remember, this is an expected contribution toward the entire cost of attendance. The amount that has to be paid to the bill rarely equals this exact amount. The student responsibility is expected to come from summer earnings and assets as well as an on-campus job during the academic year. These are suggestions for covering the student responsibility. However, the student responsibility can also be met with loans or covered by outside scholarship. If you're able to save more from your summer earnings and want to work less during the academic year, that's up to you. However, if you're not contributing the total amount for student responsibility that's shown on your award letter, in some way you'll likely run short of funds at some point during the academic year. If your total scholarships, grants, and/or loans are less than the total charges on your university bill, we suggest that you use the expected parent contribution and student responsibility to cover the balance and all of the other costs outside of the bill. The final section of the award letter contains an area for loans. Loans are generally not automatically added to the award letter and will only be added upon request from the student. Loans can be used as a resource to help meet the net cost after scholarship and grants funds have been applied. Note that your award letter will keep a running total of your student loans taken at Stanford. This section may also contain special messages at the bottom. This area will list notices or requirements you will have to fulfill before aid is dispersed. Thank you for watching our tutorial. Should you have any questions, please contact us via phone, email, or visit us in person.